Hello guys, welcome to part 2 of the review. We are doing benchmark MA.8.A.1.2 that deals with understanding the slope, the x and y intercept. So you guys did very well on the pre-test. So this is going to be very quick and painless. Alright, so let's go ahead and get started. Alright, here is number 1. And number 1 here, it says looking at the choices in the question is asking what does the slope of the line segment. So they are asking us for the slope. This is very important. We want to make sure we underline it, circle it, do whatever we gotta do to remember that here we are talking about the slope. Here it says every minute time spent studying increases score by 8%. Now looking at the graph right here, I can see I will not be able to figure out what the slope is because I do not have two solid points. Now this is one, this one is good here, but then again on the line I do not have another point that's smack right in the middle. And remember, in order to find the slope of a line we need 2 points, and in this case I only have one good point. So what's next to do? Let's go and read the question and read the facts and see if they actually give us the slope. And here it says, last year Tyrone recorded the number of hours he studied for each history test he took and the scores he received. The graph below shows that Tyrone's test score increased when he spent more time studying, and the slope of the line in the graph is 4 to 5. Alright, so here it is. The slope of the line 4 to 5. Alright, so remember the slope is the rate, okay? And also most importantly you need to remember that it is rise over run. In that case it is the change in x, the change in y over the change in x, y over x. So let's go here and label our table. So this will be x and y right here. So now let's go to the question and start eliminating. Every minute Tyrone spent studying increases score by 8. Now the slope is not by for every minute, so we can go ahead and cancel that out. Every minute Tyrone spent studying increases score by 10. Now this has nothing to do with the slope, so we can go ahead and cross that out. So again, one thing you want to realize that here the 4 is the y, so the slope here is actually percent to time. So this is the percent to the time, to the minutes at the bottom. So it's supposed to be percent per minute. All right, so the 4 represent percent, how much his score increase, and the 5 represent the time. So next one, we have every 4 minutes Tyrone's been studying increased his score by 5%. Now in this question they say every 4 minutes increase his score by 5%. Now looking at here, I know the 4 is supposed to be the percent, so automatically because it says 4 minutes, so I know 4 is supposed to be the percent, so that is also out. Okay, it's just about using your common sense to eliminate. And of course we are left with D, and of course D will make sense because every 5 minutes, again 5 minutes right here, 5 minutes Tyrone spent studying increases score by 4%. So the answer is D. Pretty easy, right? Alright, so let's move on to the next one. Alright, number 2. So here we have this question right here asks us what does the x-intercept of the line segment represent. So you need to remember to always, now on a test they will hardly ever give you the labels on the graph, so you want to make sure you label your x and you label your y-axis. So since the question is asking us about the x-intercept, All right, so that means we are talking about this point right here, and I want to know what this represents. And here we are talking about um, the amount of water for the trip. All right, so the water remains per gallon, how much water they had left during their trip. So this right here basically is showing that water right here, which is the Y right here, is at 0, and the days is at 10. So water is at 0 when days is 10. All right, so remember this point will be 10 comma 0. All right, that's the point right here. So that means after 10 days they had no water, they had no water left. Okay, so after 10 days no more water. Okay, and then again you just have to look at your choices and see which one makes sense. All right, so but however, basically what this is saying, water at 0 right here, water on the Y, and the time for the days is at 10. So that means after 10 days there's no more water. All right, move on to the next. Alright, here is another question that's asking, what does the y-intercept of the line represent? Again, we want to label x and y. Since we're talking about the y-intercept, it's going to be right here. And this graph is talking about Roger's savings. Alright, so we can you can read the whole question if you want, but again, if they want the y-intercept, that means I have to look at the graph. So the y-intercept is telling me that right here on y, which is amount in savings, so this is telling me amount in saving was about, I'll say maybe 450, something like that. Again, just estimating what it is. And number of months was 0. Okay, so basically again what this is telling me is that before he started saving, again he is saving for a car, and so before he started putting money away each month, all right, he already had about $450 in his account. He had close to $500 in his account, and this is basically what the y-intercept is telling us. Usually the y-intercept tells us where we are starting. Usually tell us the starting point. Okay, if we are saving, we already have some money, so we are not going to be starting all the way down at 0. Okay, pretty easy, right? That's what I thought. All right, next question. Okay, so here we have, according to the graph, which of the following statement is true? So if the question is about the graph, so we really want to make sure we analyze it. Let's take a look at our question. A package that weighs less than 10 pounds has a $10 fee. So 10 pounds is right here. Okay, so again, this is X and Y. This one is easy. They already labeled it for us. 10 is right there. So if 10 less than $10 fee, that will be a no because this is at 0 right there. The handling fee increased $1 for every 10 pounds. So this right here, whenever they're talking about 1 for every something else, they're talking about the slope right here. So let's go ahead and get the slope to see if this is true. That's why I don't like those type of questions, because we have to go and figure out everything to make sure it's not true. All right, so we are looking for a true statement. So here, to get the slope here, we could get actually 2 solid points. We could use let's see, maybe this one right here and this one right here. So again, remember the slope is y, change in y over the change in x. Alright, so the change in the y values, which is right here. So we went from 150 to 175 because this is increasing by 25, 0, 25, 50, 25. So that would be 75, 100, 125, 150, and 175. So 175 minus 150, so that would be 25. So we can see the changes in 25 over the x, which is, I chose those points, so it'll be 60 and 70, so that'll be 10. Alright, so they're talking about $1 for every, again, this is the pounds, this is the pound, and this right here will be the dollars. So it says $1 for every 10 pounds. Nope, that's not the case. It's $25 for every 10 pounds. So that's out. Again, the handling fee increased $10 for every 1 pound. Nope. Again, we already established the slope will be 25 to 10. And $25 for every 10 pound. So our choice here has to be I. There is no handling fee for packages that weigh 10 pounds or less. Again, if you are at 10, you will still be at 0, and if you were at 5, you'll still be at 0. So 10 pounds or less will be the correct choice right there. There's no fee for those. Then once you start going above 10, then you're starting to get charged. Alright, so basically these are very easy questions. It's about taking the time to really read the question and really look at the graph. Alright, here is another one. It says here, what part of the graph represents the point where Javier has no money? So we are looking at the part of the graph where his money is at 0. So looking at here, so since dollars is right here, so we have to look at where it's right here at 0. And when it's at 0, boom, right here on the x-intercept. Alright, so this one will be at the x-intercept. Let us know that after 5 days, he has no money. Alright, he ran out of money on his vacation. Alright, now this one, a lot of you guys had problem with it. It says, what does the slope of the line segment represent? Now, this is a negative slope, so it's -1 to 2. They already let us know the slope right here. Alright, so next thing you want to do is to take a look at your graph and label x, y. I'm going to put the slope here. -1 to 2. Remember, it can either be this way, 1, or positive on top, negative at the bottom. And so we have to really take a look at the choices and see which one makes sense. Okay, now we don't have to go ahead and find the slope because they already gave it to us. However, we still have to tell them what it represents. Now y, remember, slope is always, please remember that, delta y, change in the y's over the change in the x's, rise over run. Okay, so here it says Rachel can make, so that means for my -1, since it is on y, I will be talking here about regular size cupcake. I'm gonna put a R for regular size, and the bottom we are talking about the mini size cupcake. Okay, now so that means something will be decreasing. Okay, so because it's a negative slope. Here choice A says Rachel can make 4 regular size cupcakes for every 8 mini cupcakes she makes. So if we want to take a look at this one, this is not a direct relationship, so that would be a big no, because it says here for every, there's nothing here that says it's increasing or decreasing, because this slope right here, it's a negative slope. All right, so something has to be going down. Over here, B says Rachel can make either 16 regular size cupcakes or 32 mini cupcakes. So it's saying she can either make this one 16 right here or 32. What happened to the things in between, right? Everything else in between. So that one is, even though it is part of a true statement, but she have other choices. It's not the only choices she have. Now C says for every 2 regular size cupcakes Rachel makes, she has to make 1 fewer mini cupcakes. So this one is sound good so far, right? Because it has the 1 and it has the 2 that we're talking about in the slope, and it has also the word fewer, letting me know something's decreasing. But let's see if it makes sense. It says for every 2 regular size cupcakes, so that means for every 2 regular size cupcake, right here, every 2 regular size. Remember, our regular size was what? The -1, so that's out. So because the regular size was -1, we can already eliminate that choice. Now our only choice is D. For every 2 mini cupcakes, see, 2 mini cupcakes right here, Rachel she has to make 1 fewer regular size cupcakes. So for every 2 mini cupcakes, she makes 1 fewer regular size cupcake. So D is the one that makes sense. Okay, so again, these questions are not that hard. It does take a lot of reading, so it's just a matter of reading and really understand what you are reading. All right, last question. Oops, guess that was it. Make sure you guys really review this last question, because a lot of you guys got it wrong. Those who did not get that perfect score, that's probably why. So remember, these questions, it's about reading, so make sure you guys read. Okay, all right, so that was it for today. Have a good one. Bye bye.